What's good, people? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 410. And as of this recording, I have 4 volumes left for this box set, so I'm really excited. Looks like we're coming towards the end of this arc, and what I'm very excited about is not necessarily what happened in this chapter, but there's a small thing that Oda does on the cover page. This isn't one of those chapters where there's a cover story, but instead we get this really cool slice of life moment where you see all the Straw Hats that are together and they're having a cookout, man. Let me see if I can zoom in on this so you guys can see this. They're having a cookout, and that is so cool, man. Like I said, slice of life. It just shows them all together. It looks like Nico Robin's back with the crew. You got Nami holding the hot dogs. You got Sanji grinning as he's smoking. Luffy's got his mouth full. Looks like Usopp's getting ready to tell a big-ass tall tale about the greatest server ever. Chopper. I told you guys, man, Chopper look high as fuck, man. Chopper got the mustard and ketchup. He's got them in one hand, or both hands, and he's just spraying. I love little stuff like that. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of slice of life, but when it's done in a very subtle manner like that, where it's just a snapshot, I totally enjoy it, because it's in stuff like this where you can really get an idea for the characters, for how Oda perceives them, and also stuff like that allows us as readers to feel like, oh, okay, you know, they're just like us. They're normal people. It's kind of hard to forget, you know, because, or remember, because, you know, Luffy's super strong, you know, stretch arms. Zoro's a fucking freak of nature. Sanji's a super pervert who's really strong. Nico Robin can spread out extra arms. Nami's super smart. Like, it's really hard to forget that, or remember that they're normal people like us. So with that being said, this chapter, the looming threat of the Buster Call is continuing to be there. And this is one of those moments where Oda uses the ticking clock, but unlike with Skypiea, he's not saying this many minutes left until the Buster Call. Instead, he gave us the time frame with the people with the Navy saying, okay, this is how long it's going to take us to get to Eames Lobby. And so we know that this is a countdown coming. And everyone's continually freaking out saying, we need to get out of here, we need to run away. At one point you have Polly saying, we've been in danger since we've been on this island. Let's just roll with it, you know, because the Frankie family says that they can't leave without Frankie and without the Straw Hats too. So the looming threat of the Buster Call really works to raise up the tension for this. And what's really beautiful about this chapter is, yet again, we see another moment where Luffy is making me eat my words. It's like I go off and on again where I say, Luffy, you big dummy, and Luffy, you fucking genius. Like, Luffy looks like he's going to start swapping hands with Rob Lucci, right? Rushes towards him. It looks like he's got the Gum Gum Gatling, because you got him where he's got a whole bunch of fists flying. And Rob Lucci is just blocking the hell out of these shots, man. Like, and at one point, you know, Rob Lucci even throws a few kicks in himself. Like, it's like Luffy isn't getting the upper hand. But what I thought was really interesting was towards the beginning of the fight, Luffy just kind of wraps Rob Lucci up, right? And this is after Rob is like, you're not going to get to Nico Robin. You're not going to get past me. And Luffy says, okay, I got something for you. As Luffy rushes towards him, wraps him up, and hurls him, right? Rob Lucci is just like, what the fuck is this dude doing, right? You can tell he's got this arrogant, smug look on his face. And Luffy rushes towards the door, right? And I like how one of the things Oda just draws in there is just the word dash. And I get it. It's to show Luffy's running really fast, but it's kind of like a little gag moment too, you know, because one of the things I've been noticing about Oda, in particular, this especially last volume, is he does like to troll, but he also inserts gag elements, and that's one of them there. So I thought that was cool to watch Luffy rushing towards that door, and you're thinking, oh shit, he's gonna break down this door. He just outsmarted Rob Lucci. On one hand, I'm going, man, I feel so cheated if he breaks this door, because I want to see these two just start swapping hands, throwing down, getting right to it, getting to the nitty gritty. Rob Lucci transforms, Luffy goes gear 2. Like, I just wanted to see those two just go at it, right? Looks like I'm still going to get what I'm asking for, because Rob Lucci just steps in. That's where the exchange I was telling you about comes in. And what was really good about this is the entire time, like, Luffy gets knocked back and he's just springboarding, jumping right at this dude. it shows Luffy. I mean, he's not giving up. Like Luffy reminds me of my dog. He's a half Labrador, half pit bull mix. Very smart, very mischievous, but at the same time, that pit bull in him gets in him where once he has his mouth around one of his toys, you better not try and take it from him because he ain't having it. Like he's gonna lock down and that's it. Like for instance, the other day I'm cooking some steaks, right? And my dog, I step out and I tell the person that's in the room, I say, hey, just watch him for a second. I just need to step out and get something out of my room. So I come back in, my dog's got a steak, and I've got to wrap my arms around his neck, and I'll just put a little pressure. I wasn't trying to hurt him. Put a little pressure on him in order to make him open up. And he finally dropped it, but his ass was like, I'm not letting it go. And that's how Luffy is. Luffy, Nico Robin is his steak. Sanji might be a little jealous by that, but Nico Robin's his steak. Luffy's rushing forward. He's not going to give up until he gets to Robin. I just love that determination. Like one of the things that drew me to Naruto was the fact that Naruto Uzumaki has just a lot of guts in his character. And that's what you see in Luffy. Not only does Luffy have guts, but he has a very strong drive. He's not going to be deterred. And it's something that you have to admire. It's something that we as people, we could probably incorporate in our life. I know that I can. I'm a very driven person, but there are times where I stop and I ask myself, is this really worth it? Luffy never stops and asks himself something like that. So that's something I really liked about this. Now, getting into the other part of the chapter, there's another one, copyrights be damned. If you guys been following my channel for a while, I've had some issues with copyright strikes because fucking Shueisha is bullshit. But we have this really interesting shot where, again, it's the gag writing, but Khalifa, she's looking at Nico Robin and she's telling Robin, hey, I can't be, not Robin, she's looking at Nami and she's saying, hey, I can't be here. The Buster call's coming. We got to get out of here. And you're thinking, we, right? And what ends up happening, she ends up wrapping Nami up. And we get this moment where I'm remembering what you guys told me that Oda caught some flack from his editors and some of his peers that his female characters, they're not drawn sexy enough, and so one of the ways that he tried to compensate for it was making the breast bigger. And we get a shot like how we did in Skypiea where Nami, and I pay attention to panel placement because manga is like, these books. When you read books, you pay attention to the words they use. In manga, you do the same, but because it's a visual medium, you have to look at where characters are positioned on a page and where they are as far as the panels. And we get this really interesting shot where you see, not here, let me go down a little bit, right here. You got Khalifa right behind Nami, and you got Nami's breast right on full display, drawn a little bit bigger than usual. Looks like the top is getting ready to rip because you see like the buttons on the side that are being stretched, and you have the staff, like the staff's right underneath the neck. It's putting a lot of emphasis on our breasts. I mean, it's a small thing. It's not necessarily something to say, oh my God, Oda fans. It's not that. Oda did in a really subtle way. It's a choke out maneuver. I'd be very interested to see how accurately the anime kind of captures this moment. I mean, chances are that's going to happen. It is a shonen. Shonen, one of the characteristics of a shonen, because it's geared more towards younger boys to young adult males, you're gonna have these fan service moments. So it is what it is. But I like how right after that on the next page, you see Nami, her body's been completely changed over, right? And one of the things she says is, what did you do to my body? And it's on the same, I just want to point this out. Like, just on how it's on the left page here, where you see Nami's, breasts on full display. On this page, where she says, what did you do to my body? It's the same thing, and it's put up in that top right corner. And what I thought was really cool about that is, again, Oda did it exactly on the same page, almost to the same panel, where you see the differences, where Nami goes from very voluptuous to pretty flat-chested. And that's the gag writing in that. But also, Oda's very slick with shit like that. I thought that was cool. For me, looking at this from a craft perspective, the choice to do that was very beautiful. And with some of these mangaka, you know, one of the things I've learned very quickly is stuff like this, they do it on purpose. They know what they're doing, and it's up to the fans to catch this stuff. If the fans don't catch it, it's, you know, a private joke that they get to tell. Otherwise, I mean, you don't waste your pages. It is what it is. So that was pretty cool to kind of see that. And I like how the chapter ends off where you see Khalifa after Nami. Every time she keeps striking her, Nami just kind of disappears, and she bursts into bubbles and kind of moves. She's the shave. All of a sudden, Nami's body splits in half. Then Nami's like over here. And I'm wondering on this. I'm not too sure because it did say that Nami's fighting power will be kind of cut in half. But I'm wondering if Nami can still use that baton that she used, and if Nami's not using some type of how do you make reflections? It's water and something else. I'm wondering if that's how she's using it, because her body's made up out of soap. So I'm wondering if she's just making mirror reflections of herself, because it's something I can see Nami doing, because she is a pretty intelligent character. And one of the things that Oda did say is that in the East Blue, Nami is the smartest character in the East Blue. So I think that would be pretty cool. I think that'd be really cool if Nami is kind of manipulating the situation, even though her fighting power is cut in half, because it would be one of these instances where you see that the strongest person doesn't always win. Now, when the chapter ends, I like how Khalifa, she looks up, sees Chopper running through the wall, and she's like, she just made herself supersized. And I was just like, the same thing as Nami. I'm like, what the fuck just happened here? Like, is she really this fucking stupid? And the thing is I'm really tempted to say that she's not stupid, because Khalifa is an assassin and she's seen shit like this before. So I'm really tempted to just pump the brakes on this and wait. But overall, this is a really fun chapter to read. My chapter question to you guys is, between what happened with Nami and Luffy, take out the fact Luffy's the main character. Just look at what you saw in this chapter between the early stages of the fight with Rob Lucci and with Nami in the situation she's in, where she's with the same technique as Sanji as she's continuing to fight. Which character did you think had the best fight sequence in this chapter? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Have an awesome day, guys.